We continue at CBS News 24/7 to monitor the situation in Los Angeles. And here's your headline. Mayor Karen Bass has enforced a curfew overnight. That curfew is expected to hold 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. No word on when it's over, expected for several more days. This is, of course, after 5 days of clashes between these demonstrators that you see right here and police. Also, think about it this way. One day after President Donald Trump sent 700 Marines to join what is already thousands of National Guard troops on the ground. So the Trump administration promising more raids and more immigration crackdowns. A lot to talk about here. Let's go to CBS News immigrations and politics reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez. You are in Los Angeles. Protesters are there for a fifth day. All the while, we understand ICE raids are taking place in real time. What are you hearing?
Well, Reed, the main demand here among protesters is for immigration and customs enforcement to stop conducting immigration sweeps here, targeting immigrants who are suspected of being in the country illegally. And we're seeing massive and large-scale protests, not just in Los Angeles, but in communities across the country, in direct opposition to President Trump's sweeping and aggressive crackdown on illegal immigration. The demand, of course, is for ICE to stop rounding up immigrants who are suspected of being in the country illegally in this area. But we have received no indication that the Trump administration, Reed, is heeding those demands. If anything, the administration is doubling down on its immigration policy, saying that ICE will continue to arrest undocumented and unauthorized immigrants across the country, including here in Southern California. And in fact, ICE has continued to conduct daily arrests here in the LA area and also across the country. ICE arrests on a daily basis, Reed, have increased by more than 100% since President Trump's first 100 days in office. So the administration is certainly not backing down, Reed.
And I might be putting you on the spot, so forgive me. Two-part question here. Do we have any idea, with the National Guard troops standing by there, assisting in those ICE raids, do we have any idea as to numbers in perhaps like the last 5 days relative to ICE raids? And then we also understand that National Guard troops are standing by during those arrests. To be very clear, Jonathan Vigliotti is reporting that they are quelling protests, or that they're not there to quell protests. I guess I'm stumbling because I'm also stricken by what I'm seeing behind you, Camilo, and that is the spray paint somebody's put on that federal building saying "Death to America." So that's a lot to throw at you there. But first of all, the numbers. Are the National Guard troops there to support the protests, or is it to support the ICE arrests?
To address the first question, Reed, we have nationwide numbers on ICE arrests. And right now, ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, is averaging about 1,500 or 1,400 daily arrests. That is up from about 700 daily arrests during the first 100 days of the second Trump administration, and up from the 300 daily arrest average during the last year of the Biden administration. So there has been a dramatic expansion in immigration enforcement across the U.S. in recent weeks after the White House and officials like Stephen Miller have been pushing ICE, Reed, to conduct as many as 3,000 arrests on a daily basis. That would be unprecedented for that agency. To tackle your second question, after President Trump activated the National Guard, initially they mainly were here to play a support role and to guard and protect federal buildings like the immigration court behind me, and also the local ICE field office. But now the role is expanding to some degree because we are told by ICE officials that National Guard troops are also accompanying deportation officers from that agency in immigration enforcement operations, not to arrest the undocumented individuals they encounter, but to provide security to the deportation agents at ICE who are conducting those arrests, Reed. So that's obviously a significant expansion in the responsibilities here in Southern California.
Camilo, so much to process there. We appreciate your reporting on the ground in Los Angeles. Thank you so much.